Jesus never said, "I am God, worship me." You've probably heard that objection before. For many Muslims, it's considered a conversation-ending argument, and at first glance, it sounds convincing. After all, if Jesus is God, shouldn't he just come out and say it? But there's a problem. Historical figures are not understood by one isolated sentence. They're understood by their words, their actions, and how the people around them reacted. So the real question isn't whether Jesus said one specific English phrase. The real question is, what did Jesus claim about himself? And how did the people who heard him understand those claims? Imagine applying this standard to every historical figure. Did Abraham ever say, "I am a prophet"? Did Moses ever say, "I am the author of the Torah"? Did David ever say, "I am the king described in future Bible study guides"? Of course not. We understand who people are by examining everything they said and did. The same should be true for Jesus. One of the most striking examples appears in John's Gospel. Jesus says, "Very truly I tell you, before Abraham was born, I am." Notice what happens next. At this, they picked up stones to stone him. Why? Because many believe Jesus was identifying himself using language connected to God's self-revelation in Exodus. Whether someone agrees with that interpretation or not, one thing is clear. His audience believed he had said something shocking enough to deserve death. Later, Jesus says, "I and the Father are one." Again, notice the reaction. The Jewish leaders pick up stones. Jesus asks why. They answer, "We are not stoning you for any good work, but for blasphemy, because you, a mere man, claim to be God." Think about that. The people standing there did not accuse him of claiming to be a prophet. They accused him of making himself equal with God. Now someone might argue they misunderstood him. That's possible. But then another question emerges. Why doesn't Jesus simply say, "No, you've misunderstood. I'm only a prophet"? Instead, the discussion continues. Then we come to an event recorded in Mark chapter 2. A paralyzed man is brought to Jesus. Instead of immediately healing him, Jesus says, "Son, your sins are forgiven." The teachers of the law react immediately. Why does this fellow talk like that? He's blaspheming. Who can forgive sins but God alone? Notice again what is happening. The issue isn't simply healing. The issue is authority. One of the most dramatic moments occurs during Jesus' trial. The high priest asks him directly if he is the Messiah. Jesus responds, "You will see the Son of Man sitting at the right hand of the Mighty One and coming on the clouds of heaven." The reaction is immediate. The high priest tears his clothes and declares, "He has spoken blasphemy." Again, we see the same pattern. Jesus says something about his identity. The religious leaders interpret it as blasphemy. After the resurrection, the disciple Thomas sees Jesus and responds, "My Lord and my God." This is one of the clearest declarations found anywhere in the New Testament. What's remarkable is what happens next. Jesus does not rebuke Thomas. He does not say, "Don't call me God." Instead, he accepts Thomas's confession and continues teaching him. Even the Quran describes Jesus in ways that set him apart. Jesus is called the Messiah. He is described as Allah's word conveyed to Mary and a spirit from him. Whether Christian or Muslim, it's worth asking, why does Jesus consistently receive descriptions unlike any other prophet? So, did Jesus ever say the exact English sentence, "I am God, worship me"? No. But that's the wrong question. The real question is, why did people repeatedly accuse him of blasphemy? Why did they believe he was making divine claims? Why did he forgive sins? Why did he accept worship? Why did Thomas call him "my Lord and my God"? And why didn't Jesus correct those conclusions if they were completely mistaken? Those are the questions every seeker should wrestle with. Because if Jesus truly is who he claimed to be, that changes everything. Open the sources. Read the passages for yourself. Follow the evidence wherever it leads. And keep seeking truth. If you're ready to learn, grow, and speak truth in love, join us, subscribe now. The conversation starts here.